Hi Cancer, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. But in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Cancer and Capricorn on Wednesdays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Ostara Tarot, and that's Ostara. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the information is in the description below. So I do want to give you guys the heads up that sometimes the cards flip over in the deck. I do see them, however, I usually only take cards that jump out like these ones have. And now that we have 8 cards, we can get started on your reading. I do also want to mention that right as I looked at the timer, it was at 0101. So I'm thinking that you guys might be seeing a lot of synchronicities right now. But I do want to remind you guys that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here, Cancer, is the Queen of Cups, which is actually really nice energy for you guys because the Queen of Cups talks about sort of the more emotional aspects of the queens, right? And she represents Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So I feel like you guys are super in your element right now. And I think that, you know, you guys get a bad rap for being like overly emotional, right? Because you're a water sign. But I think that you're really using your understanding of emotions, both your own and other people's, to your advantage right now. I think that right now you're communicating in a way where you're able to empathize and understand other people's emotions, and that really benefits you in everything that has to do with communication. And I feel like just by like sheer virtue of existing the way that you do, people are like put at ease, which I think will help you in the long run when it comes to all of your goals. But I'm looking at the fact that you have the Four of Cups here with the Justice card. So the Four of Cups to me will represent some kind of dissatisfaction in a situation. The fact that it's in reverse leads me to believe that there's something that you are now becoming satisfied with. So what I think is going on here is that you were in a situation where in the past you felt like things were unfair and unjust. And that's what brought upon this energy here where you feel unsatisfied. But now I feel like the scales are tipping in your favor. And because of that, you're now in a situation where everything has been sort of balanced out and you're able to be happy with this result, which I think is really good news. So if you guys have been in some kind of a situation where you feel like you were treated completely unjust or unfairly, do know that some kind of retribution is on its way. And honestly, for some of you guys, I am getting sort of like this legal dispute energy because I see the Knight of Swords, which can talk about these messages on an intellectual level. And right, whenever I picture the King or Queen of Swords, it's always sort of that like lawyer-esque energy. So this Knight of Swords in particular carries some of that with it. And then you have the World card, which to me feels like something that's long-term, right? Almost like a court case. Court cases can last up to multiple years. But I think that for some of you guys, okay, let me clarify a little bit. For some of you guys, it's that legal dispute. But for most of you, it's just something that has been going on for a long time. I think that a lot of you guys have been dealing with someone in particular, especially in love, where it feels like an eternity for sure. And for some of you, it might be like a couple years. For some of you, it might be a couple months with this person. For some of you, it might even be a couple weeks. But the through line here is that it feels like a long time with this World card. It feels like you've been with an eternity with this person. And it's almost like, I don't want to get your hopes up, but I feel like this person is changing their approach a little bit because there's the King of Cups here. And do note that the King of Cups is a great match for the Queen of Cups. They are soulmates. So, like, I'm hesitant to say that this person is absolutely perfect for you because of this energy that I have from the past. So what I'm telling you is do move forward with discretion, right? I'm getting that this is important for someone, but the King of Cups represents Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces as well as the Queen of Cups. So for some of you guys, you might be dealing with another water sign, but either way, I think that the communication between these two figures here, which that would be you and the other person, and you can apply yourself to whichever energy you think you fit mostly with. It feels like the communication is, I'm hearing off to a rocky start, but then it gets better. And the reason I'm talking about communication is because we have this Eight of Wands here. And the Eight of Wands is exactly that. It's communication. Also, I looked at the timer just now and it was at 555. And I know that 555 talks about major changes. So I would highly recommend doing your own research on sort of angel numbers and synchronicities and repeating numbers, right? Which are basically all just different names for the same thing. But do your research on that and see what mostly speaks to you and your situation. But like I was saying, the Eight of Wands here talks about communications. A lot of times it's called the arrows of love. And I'm almost getting like, for a lot of you guys, this might be like an ex or somebody who has been in the past. It doesn't necessarily have to be an ex, but just someone with this past energy, because I'm getting that there's a history with this person. I feel like whatever this person was in the past, they're now coming up as the King of Cups, which, I mean, is good news, because the King of Cups works well with your Queen of Cups. That's soulmate energy, but then you also have the Lovers in reverse, right? And the symbolism of the Lovers is, pretty straightforward. It talks about people that are in love, and the fact that it's in reverse tells me that there's going to be either an energy where this person feels like perfect and then they turn out not to be, or the other scenario where this person there's just like a huge difficulty here, like an obstacle is the word that I'm looking for. I do want to note that these people are blindfolded. I don't know if it comes out very well in the video, but I feel like that's almost like a play on the phrase love is blind. And the fact that it's in reverse tells me that you shouldn't be so blind, right? It's no coincidence that these cloths that they're blind with are red. And that to me feels like red flags that you guys may or may not be ignoring, right? So even though this person does appear to be really, really good and really, really perfect, or maybe they've come back in a better energy than they have in the past, do be aware that there are some things here that aren't exactly perfect and that might be issues later on down the road, even though you have this sort of leveling out of the energy here with the Justice card. I should also point out the major arcana. You have the Justice card and you have the Lovers, which represent Libra and Gemini, so that might be relevant for some of you guys. The World card doesn't necessarily have any astrological signs attached to it, but it does have fixed signs, which are Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio, right? So I want to note that you have all three air signs. You have Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius through the World card, and then you have Scorpio through this card, and then through these cards as well. So those cards might be, those signs might be extra relevant to you guys. But the last card that you have here on your reading is this Knight of Pentacles, which to me feels like a really good sign, actually, because even though there's this energy here of like the negativity, there's like the negativity and obstacles, there's this wanting to come forth in a way that's stable. But the unfortunate part of the Knight of Pentacles is that it is the slowest moving knight of the deck, and that's especially illustrated here, as you can see that this knight is walking up a steep hill that is covered in snow with a bear. So it feels like this person, even though they want to come forth in a better light, in a better energy, and like make a move, they're going to take a long time. There's going to be, it's weird because it's kind of a mixed bag. There's going to be some quick communication that happens with the Knight of Wands, sorry, the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands, but there's also going to be this second wave that takes a lot longer. So what that means to you guys is there's probably going to be a lot of quick communication in the short term, and then nothing's actually going to happen until the long term. But that was your reading first time around, Cancer. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Cancer videos on Wednesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for your next reading.